Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Nielsen, and this is How You Level Up, a podcast where I ask questions to help you become your best self. Today we ask, what is judgment? In what situations does judgment help us? In what situations does judgment hurt us? Whether you're aware of it or not, you are judging everything around you all the time. You make judgment calls about what time to wake up. You make judgment calls about what you want to wear to work based on the meetings you have that day. You make judgment calls on how much energy to put into a project or a relationship. Your judgment is your ability to make decisions or form opinions based on facts, your experience, and your beliefs. Your judgment involves weighing the pros and cons of a situation and making an informed decision. Your judgment can be affected by the groups you associate with. It can be affected by the mood you're in at a given moment. Your judgment can even be hijacked by a heuristic. We've talked about judgments before when we discussed worldviews, your personal philosophy, emotions, your communication. Specifically in communication, your judgment can also seep into the words and phrases you use, changing your perception of things on a subconscious level. This is a scary fact, should you not be aware of it. You might inadvertently be judging things and minimizing your opportunities in life. Well, how could this be? While judgments help you make decisions and form opinions based on the information you have, it also helps you form beliefs, meaning your judgment has a range from personal preference and feelings to rational decision-making. On the rational decision-making side, judgment allows you to analyze and navigate the world. On the personal preference and feelings side, judgment allows you to decipher what's right and wrong, good and bad, and if you're unaware the personal preference and feelings side is beginning to affect the rational decision-making, your judgment can lead you off course. For example, when your personal preference is injected into your rational decision-making, you might say something like, "The best way to exercise and improve your physical strength is to track all of your workouts and reread entries from previous days. This way, you know what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad." Can you hear what is personal preference? Can you hear what is rational decision-making? Starting with the latter, the rational decision-making is that this person wants to improve their physical strength and endurance, so their approach is to track workouts they perform in a notebook and review previous days to analyze further. The personal preference is that this person thinks tracking exercises in a notebook is the right way to analyze exercises, that this is the one way to do it. Your personal preference hijacks the rational decision-making and convinces you that there is one best way to approach an action. It creates an expectation that others should follow suit or else miss the mark. And should others not do as your personal preference expects, then they are wrong in their approach. The beauty of life is that there are 100 ways to do a thing, and none of them are right or wrong. Right and wrong are personal preference judgments. Most of the time, right and wrong are actually irrelevant. It's a big challenge to remove your judgment, then. It's a challenge to accept that your way might not be the only way, or the best way, or the right way. That in fact, your way is simply a way to do a thing. When your personal preference judgment seeps into your language, it is critical. It might be harsh, and it sounds like, if you really cared, you would do X, Y, or Z. He's being sensitive about it. That's a stupid idea. She's a lazy person and probably won't do it. Your performance is unacceptable. They should be ashamed of themselves. That outfit looks ridiculous. They should have taken our order by now. Epictetus, the slave who became a philosopher, said of judgment that If a man washes quickly, do not say that he washes badly, but that he washes quickly. If a man drinks much wine, do not say that he drinks badly, but that he drinks much. For till you have decided what judgment prompts him, how do you know that he acts badly? Epictetus here is encouraging us to question our personal preference and prompts us to ask further before we judge. So that, if you really cared, you would do X, Y, or Z becomes, after asking you to do X, Y, or Z and you said you would do it, what happened that you didn't get to it? So that he's being sensitive about it becomes, I can see you're experiencing some intense emotions. What is it you're feeling? And how can we dive into why you might be experiencing that emotion? So that's a stupid idea becomes, what led you to think of this idea? What will we achieve if we follow through with it? So that she's a lazy person and probably won't do it becomes, now that she has this responsibility, what can I do to help ensure she has the support she needs to be successful? So that your performance is unacceptable becomes, with your performance not aligning with her values, what is it that's causing this misalignment? And how can we get you back on track? So that they should be ashamed of themselves becomes, I wonder what it was that led them to that behavior. What factors am I unaware or are not considering here? So that outfit looks ridiculous becomes, what an interesting outfit. What was it inspired by? So that they should have taken our order by now becomes, I wonder what's taking them so long. Does it look like they're short-staffed? Epictetus had every right to be angry with the world. He was a slave, another person's property. And instead of judging the world from his position, while a slave or even after he became free, he concluded that what disturbs minds, what distresses you, is not events or people, but your judgment of events and people. It is illogical to reason, I am richer than you, therefore I am superior to you. Or, I am more eloquent than you, therefore I am superior to you. You are something more than property or speech. His practice of rational decision-making without the influence of personal preference is an important part of forming strong relationships with others and forming neutral relationships with your environment. By being mindful of your own biases, you can avoid making assumptions or passing judgment on you, yourself, and others. By focusing on understanding instead of debating right and wrong, you encourage dialogue. By respecting opinions and allowing each party to express their views without judgment, you create an environment where comfort and honesty are the main pillars. An environment without fear or criticism. So how can we stop personal preference judgments from invading our communication? First, consider your tone before speaking. People tend to judge based on the way something is said rather than the words used. Second, should you have strong feelings about something, communicate those feelings instead of making assumptions. It's easy to assume another person's intentions when talking to them, and this will lead right into misunderstandings or judgments. Third, ask open-ended questions as a response more than you feel like doing. When trying to avoid judgment in communication, we open ourselves up by being inquisitive. Fourth, mindfully choose your words because our words have power and they can encourage or discourage depending upon what we choose as descriptors. And finally, respect the boundaries of others. It's important to remember that everyone has a different threshold level. So where in your life might your personal preference be invading your rational decision-making judgment? What is something you said recently that when you look back on, you were being judgmental about it? And how might you respond next time? Thank you for listening to another episode. If you're enjoying the show, open up the app you're listening to this on and hit the like or subscribe button and give a 5-star rating. At least twice a week, you'll find a new episode asking you a new question, so you can strengthen your emotional independence, improve your communication skills, and upgrade your personal philosophy. So if there's a question you'd like me to dive into next, send it to any of these social media accounts connected in the show notes here. This is all about how you level up.